Downtown Troy, Ohio is a charming area in the heart of the city of Troy. Whether you're thinking about moving to Troy or just coming for a visit, I'm going to share some of my favorite things about Troy, Ohio, specifically the downtown and the Riverwalk areas, and tell you where to get the best food, where to go for the best date, and the best entertainment, and more, with 7 of my favorite things that make Troy, Ohio a great place to live and visit. Hi, I'm Lydia Rowe, a realtor here in Tipp City, Ohio. And for those of you who don't know the area, Tipp City is just south of Troy, Ohio. I grew up in this area and went to school at Troy Christian, where my kids go now. Here are some quick stats about Troy before we begin. Troy is the county seat of Miami County, Ohio, with a population of around 26,000, making it the largest in Miami County. It is still considered part of the Dayton metropolitan area, which you can find out more about in my video I'm linking here. As of the day of this recording, there are 88 homes for sale in Troy, with a median listing price of $256,000 and a median selling price of $253,000. I'll talk more about the housing market in Troy in another video, but not today. I need to start off by saying Troy has a ton to offer, and there is no way I can cover all of the great places and things to do in one video. So stay tuned, like this video, and subscribe to my channel because there will be more to come, and you don't want to miss it. These are going to be in no particular order. I couldn't decide, but do stay tuned to the end if you think that you might be moving to the Dayton area and you're trying to decide which suburb is right for you, because I will give you the inside scoop on what sets Troy apart from some other locations. And without further ado, these are a few of my favorite things. Okay, number 1 of my favorite things in Troy is the river area. There's a bike path right along the river. There's a walking path on top of the levee with some benches and swings to rest or sip a cup of coffee or chat with a friend or journal or just breathe in the fresh air with the view of the river and the city. I've done all of those things in this place and I love it. It's also a great place to bring kids. Troy City Parks connects right to the path, so you can do a little playing on the playground or tennis, and a little biking, running, walking, observing the ducks, watching people kayak in the summer. If you're at the park, you can walk up the levee and see the river, the paths, and Treasure Island across the way. Treasure Island is a cool outdoor amphitheater that hosts local free concerts and community gatherings. Of course, there are picnic shelters too. There are super fun events in the summer off the Treasure Island, like camping on the water. It's called float camping. I have not done it yet, but it looks amazing and a little terrifying. At this same park, there's a community theater established in 1965 called Troy Civic Theater, where you can catch some local talent and catch some local shows. The bike path itself connects with the larger Miami Valley bike trails with over 330 miles of trails to explore. So you can ride your bike to visit Tipp City, or you can go all the way into Dayton and beyond from Troy. This is also the area where the annual Strawberry Festival is hosted. This event pulls 200,000 visitors and packs the place out with delicious strawberry treats, local musicians, and fun activities. Shout out to my friend Corey Breath. He's an amazing local singer-songwriter. Check him out on iTunes and Spotify and everywhere music is sold. A few of his songs were recorded and or produced in my basement with my husband. Shameless plug for jroweproduction.com. I'll put a link in the description. A parade, a pageant, a pink fountain, and great family fun. You don't want to miss the next Strawberry Festival. Some of my favorite strawberry treats are the donuts and the lemonade. Hobart Arena is right there as well, which offers ice skating in the winter. Just don't hit your head like my daughter. Maybe wear a helmet. I'll tell you that story in a minute. And Hobart is also a great place to catch a concert or traveling show. Number 2 on my list of favorite things in Troy is my favorite place for a date, which is a restaurant called Smith's Boathouse, located right next to Treasure Island. Now, there are many, many amazing restaurants and delicious foods downtown, so much so that I might need to do a whole other video on just the food. But the reason I picked Smith's Boathouse, which really isn't even technically downtown, for the best place for a date is for a few reasons. First, the food really is quite delicious. Everything is fresh. They'll make a Caesar salad right there in front of you for your table. It's called Smith's Boathouse, so as you can imagine, there is some yummy seafood. But my favorite item on the menu is the French onion soup. Of course, you have to like onions, but this soup has a savory, flavorful broth full of onions and melted cheese, topped with pastry crust. It is truly a treat. Even if you just came for the salad and soup, you'd be impressed. But besides the food, probably the biggest reasons it's on my list of favorites is the location. There is outdoor deck dining when weather permits, and like I said before, it's right next to Treasure Island, where there's little walking paths, lighted fountains and bridges, and it's just a nice romantic place for a meal or to get a drink or to propose or whatever. Next up on my list of Troy favorites, number 3, is my favorite place for a coffee. Okay, y'all, this is a hard one because there are many fantastic places for a good cup of joe in Troy. We have Panera Bread and Starbucks, but there are also 2 local chains that are in steep competition for the top spot, and those are Winans, which is famous for both its coffee and its chocolate, and Boston Stoker, which is delicious, but it's not downtown, so my personal favorite for the combination of great coffee and the environment is right off the square, and it's called Purebred Coffee Company. I've actually never had anything that isn't delicious here. They have authentic cappuccino, which means don't ask for flavor, they're not going to do it. And they have lots of options if you have allergies or are avoiding dairy or whatever. I have 2 favorite drinks there. First is just the plain old cappuccino. And if I want something a little sweeter and richer, I go with the mocha latte with macadamia milk. It is so good. Besides the good coffee, they have an assortment of delectable homemade pastries. My personal favorite is their homemade Pop-Tart. Yes, you heard that right. Homemade Pop-Tart. You definitely need a plate for this. It is flaky and delicious. They also roast their own coffee right here in Troy. Fun fact, did you know coffee beans are cherry seeds? I sure didn't until I heard one of the owners of Purebred speaking and looked it up. Since they roast their own beans, they offer several signature blends, including the Trojan City Blend, special for Troy. Besides all that, the whole place just has a cool vibe with exposed brick, light walls, plants, and high ceilings. I just like it. And I hear an expansion is in the works, so there will be more room for everyone, which is good news because it's sometimes a bit crowded in there. Okay, moving on. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Square area, which is number 4. It truly is Troy's main hub. You can find walking maps online as well as posted. I could spend an hour just on this area, and this will likely be the longest section of this video. But for now, I'm just going to pick a few favorites, and first up is Heron's Market. This would be on my list of favorites for places to get good meat. If we are having friends over for grilling out or a barbecue, Heron's is the place to hit up for the brats or whatever meat you need. Seriously, just feast your eyes upon all that meat. But besides that, they also have a deli and an upstairs dining area, so it's a great place to catch lunch with a friend or for a business meeting. Very open and spacious and lots of windows to view the downtown square area. Their menu has a diverse spread of unique sandwich options. My personal favorite so far is the brisket dip, slow braised brisket, homemade red onion jam, Guggisberg Swiss cheese, horseradish cream sauce, and Dijon mustard on a fresh baguette. Oh my goodness. It's messy because you dip it in this broth, but it is so good. And do yourself a favor and ask for the Caesar dressing on your side salad. It is the best, so creamy and so flavorful, and you might want to grab a couple extra napkins. Also, here's a little insider tip. They put the plastic fork in the basket and it kind of falls down and hides, but it's in there. Heron's is also a great place to pick up a pie or a unique side if you're having a family dinner or need to bring something somewhere. Or you can grab the meat at Heron's and then walk across the street to Bakehouse Bread to grab a loaf of bread or some of my favorite treats in the world. Their lemon scones and oatmeal cookies are the best. They have a full breakfast and lunch menu as well, but don't go on Mondays because they're closed. I can't tell you how many times I've had a scone or a cranberry poppy seed bread craving and realized that alas, it's Monday. It can be very tragic. Other don't miss places right on the square are the Caroline and Agave and Rye, both offering unique atmospheres and both indoor and outdoor dining when weather permits. Grandpa Joe's is the place for candy, ice cream, prank gifts, and stocking stuffers, and very unique soda flavors, including pickle and cotton candy. Not together though, I don't think. That would be kind of gross. Well, I'm pretty sure pickle might be gross by itself too. You'll have to try it and let me know. Anyway, you can pay for a box of candy and stuff it full. And I will tell you what, if you take an expert packer or Tetris player with you, it's kind of amazing how much candy you can get in there. I'm going to insert a little personal story here. My husband takes my daughter ice skating every year in January at the Hobart Arena. She looks forward to it all year. It's a big deal. This year, she really went for it, was determined to be the first on the floor after the Zamboni cleared the ice, not realizing how much slicker that makes it. She flew too fast and ended up falling and hitting her head, and their date was cut short. Don't worry, she's okay. However, in order to end the date on a good note, my husband took her to Grandpa Joe's on the way home. Brilliant. When she got home and dumped her tiny little box out, it almost filled a gallon Ziploc bag. Apparently, my husband is a pro candy packer extraordinaire. What can I say? I have good taste. And yes, we know that now the annual ice skating date will also include Grandpa Joe's. One time makes a tradition when candy and a 10-year-old are involved. There are things besides food on the square, believe it or not. If you want a great haircut, try the iconic Ruby's Salon. It's been there forever, but it's been revamped and it's a great mix of old salon nostalgia and modern design. And there are also many boutique shops, from clothing to books to music to you name it. Here's a few extra random favorites I just had to mention that are located around the square. Mojo's, right across from Purebred Coffee, has a killer Reuben sandwich. REU Juicery, an organic kitchen next to Grandpa Joe's, has delicious fresh pressed juice. My favorite is the beets. Super flavorful and deep, rich color, packed with all sorts of good stuff for you. I also really love their salmon poke bowl. Pokey? I'm not really sure how you say it, but it's good. Pokemon? The Pokemon bowl. It's delicious. It smells so fresh in there. I feel healthier just walking in and sniffing the air. Who needs a gym? Just walk in to the juice place. Olive Oasis is right next to that. In fact, you can they have the door open usually, so you can go to both. And it has the best olive oil and balsamic vinegar and all sorts of flavors. So you can grab a loaf of bread from Bakehouse and some oil from Olive Oasis, and you have a killer appetizer for a party. Oh, Crepe is pretty new. It has delicious French-inspired, you guessed it, crepes, along with gelato and pastries. I haven't been there yet, but my son loves it. The square is also the location for city gatherings like the annual tree lighting, community concerts, and events, as well as some fun traveling art installations. There's an organization called Troy Main Street, and I'll read from their website to describe them. A nonprofit organization that promotes the economic revitalization of downtown Troy. Through strong economic development, planned historic preservation, continued enhancements, and exceptional programming, Troy Main Street creates a charming, prosperous, and interactive downtown Troy. Our vision is for downtown Troy to be the most desirable downtown destination in the Midwest, and they are doing a great job of that. Check out Troy Main Street's website for more up-to-date info and to see what activities are planned for this month or what new shops are in development. I'll link it in the description. Next on my favorites, number 5, is the Courthouse area, including the Troy Hayner Cultural Center. This is one of my favorite places and half of the city's favorite place for a photo op. You will find it packed out and have to take your turn during prom season for your chance on the mansion's staircase or front porch, or the city fountain in front of the courthouse. The Troy Hayner Cultural Center was formerly the home of Mary Jane Hayner and now houses year-round art and local history exhibits. It's open to the public with no admission fee and can be rented out for special events. One of my best friends got married in the courtyard and it was lovely. The Miami County Courthouse is located right between the Troy Hayner and the municipal building. The 1880s historic courthouse is iconic to the Troy city skyline and has recently had a pretty massive facelift with $3.6 million put into a completely redone plaza, highlighting fountains and night lighting of the architecture, as well as additional seating and an open concept design, making it easy for the entire community to access and enjoy the space. A lot of history here and worth checking out for sure. Also, if you ever have need to visit the sheriff, county auditor, marriage license, etc., just hop next door to the municipal building. Number 6 is not downtown, but it is such an amazing place and unique to Troy that I couldn't pass up the opportunity to tell you about it. And that is the Arbogast Performing Arts Center, or APAC. Dayton has a couple of beautiful venues like the Schuster Center, Victoria Theater, and there are some great outdoor venues like the Phrase Pavilion, Rowe's Music Center. But there really isn't anything quite like the Arbogast Performing Arts Center. This beautiful 1,200 tiered seat auditorium is used for education, arts, community, and business events. There's not a bad seat in the house, and no expense was spared on the sound system and the enormous stage. Full LED walls inside and in the lobby enhance each special event that the space hosts. There's a cafe with a coffee bar, catering, and green rooms are available. There's also plans for a recording studio. The APAC rents the land from Troy Christian but has its own board of directors. Many community-wide events are held in this beautiful space. Check out the events and tickets page on their website for more details of the upcoming schedule, and I'll link that as well. And last but not least, number 7 on my list of favorites is my favorite place in Troy to buy a house, and that is anywhere. I know I'm a realtor, so you might think that I have to say that, but seriously, I haven't found an area of Troy, Ohio that I don't like. Downtown, you're going to find cute starter homes and rentals, as well as beautifully restored homes and fixer-uppers. Outside of downtown, there's a plethora of fantastic neighborhoods to explore, from brand new construction to old country homes with land to well-established neighborhoods from each decade. Miami County property taxes are lower than Montgomery, so you can get more bang for your buck too. I talk more about that in this video about my hometown Tipp City, since it's also in Miami County. No matter what you're looking for, you can find it here in Troy, unless you're looking for city living, in which case you want to check out Dayton, Ohio, which you can learn more about in the other video I have posted here. Hope you enjoyed this list of my favorite things in Troy, Ohio. Thanks so much for watching, and if you got anything out of this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It will help other people find my channel. And feel free to visit my webpage at www.listwithlydia.com to start your home search, find out how much your current home is worth, or access my free e-guides with no obligation. You don't even need to put in your info to get it. See you next time.